funny because I've creeped your Tumblr for quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
And now things are happening and it's crazy.
Yeah, and I like your vlogs a lot too.
Oh, really? Yay. That's
Yeah, yeah.
nice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the way that I found you was that you did the motivational Layton,
Right.
and that showed up on my dashboard, and I went a little bit fangirl crazy because
Yeah.
my little obsession with Professor Layton, but
It's so good.
is.
Uh, what's your favorite game out of them?
Oh, I don't
Have you
know.
have you played all of them?
I haven't played all of them yet.
Oh, okay.
I've played through most of them. The early ones were pretty cute because that's what got me into it. I think I started playing Curious Village first. But the Ace Attorney Layton crossover is so good.
It is really good.
Oh gosh, it's funny because like I went through phases where I was obsessed with both of them, and then I found out that they were having a crossover game, and I'm like, oh, they're never gonna bring that to.
So you like
North
Ace Attorney
America.
too?
Yeah, I love Ace
Oh,
Attorney.
okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, probably, like, I played, I think, were there 3 Ace Attorney games?
There were 3 main ones, and then there was a 4th one, and then there was a spin-off, and then there's a 5th one that just came out. Well, not just came out, but
Yeah.
it's relatively new on 3DS.
So I went through phases, and yeah, I got obsessed. And when I found out that they were doing both of them, I screamed a little bit.
Yeah. I remember that trailer. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I know. I was like, they're never going to bring that over here, because, like, Layton is okay. Ace Attorney is kind of big, but there are a lot of cool games that they haven't brought over, so.
Right. Which Layton games haven't you played?
I haven't finished, was it Miracle Mask?
Yeah, the 5th one?
And I think there's the one called Azran
Legacy.
Is that one out?
Yeah, that one's out.
Oh, see, I'm not even up to date with it. Yeah, I got distracted by Fire Emblem, and I just dropped
Oh, Fire Emblem's so good.
every other game. Have you seen the trailer for the new?
I did. It looks really good. I like that they got the artist again, the character designer.
Yeah. I'm ready to waste like 300 hours of my life on that game.
It's gonna be bad. I put maybe how many hours did you say you put in?
I think right now I'm at like 180
Right.
something. Not at, you were at like 200 something?
Yeah, like 200, something like that.
Who are your OTPs then?
Well, me and Lucina.
Oh, of course.
Let's see. Well, who are some of your big ones?
Well, I've played pretty much like the thing that drives me through the game is just support conversations.
Yeah.
So I really like Shersh and Stahl together. I think
Oh, that's
they're
good.
cute. Who else? I'm trying to think because I've pretty much paired everyone up with everyone.
Yeah.
I think Libra and Tharja are pretty cute because they're like complete opposites.
Libra ended up like a bachelor in mine, unfortunately.
Oh no!
I think I did Tharja. And I don't remember who I paired Tharja with, but I paired Stahl with Sully.
Okay.
And I think I did Shersh with Virion. I think.
Yeah, I've done that as well.
That's a good one.
When you see little connections, you're like, no, something's there. You must grow on that.
Right. Some people play and they're like, oh, I got to get the best abilities for my children. And it's like, no, I just look for chemistry. That's all I care about.
I really wanted to pair up Cordelia with Crom, but you can't do that.
I don't know why that's not a thing. That should be a thing.
Well, it was something like she had a crush on him, and then she's like over it now or something, which
Oh, okay.
I don't know. She like they constantly make fun of her for her like crush on Crom, but then she's like, no, we're good now, and I'm like, no, you're not. You need to love each other.
Who'd you end up pairing Crom with?
I think I've just like defaulted him with Simia. I think one time I did Olivia.
Oh, okay. That one sounds. Isn't that one pretty hard to do? Don't you have to like?
You have to
do
work
all
really
the supports in that level or something like that?
Yeah, you have to work really fast for that because it's like she gets introduced, and I think there's like one game or something in between. I can't remember.
Yeah. I like Crom and Sumia though.
Crom and Sumia is really cute. Yeah, I always let them just go together because I'm like I have more fun pairing everyone else up, and you have to pair Crom up because Lucina has to appear at one point.
Right. Yeah.
I think I just end up forgetting about Crom, and then he just ends up with Sumia. So I'm like, oh, that was handy.
Yeah. I think maybe I'll play as a girl once just to see how that is.
Oh, I played as a guy like twice now.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like,
how many
what?
times have you played through it?
I've played through like 6 or 7 times.
Dang.
It's just like whoever I feel fits together well. I'm like, okay, you seem like you have something going on. But now this playthrough that I'm doing, I'm like checking out all the support conversations before I marry anyone together.
Yeah.
So I have to find out the best ones. I have to find their soulmates.
Right. What difficulty do you usually play on?
I think it's hard. I can't do lunatic. It hurts me when they die and they can't come back.
I think I've only done... So there's normal, right? That's just... There's no easy. Is there an easy? I know there's like casual.
Normal or easy, yeah. There's like a super... Yeah, the casual one. And then there's hard, which is like supposed to be normal difficulty.
Okay.
And then there's one where everyone dies, and that's when I put down the game and play Animal Crossing for a while.
Are there only 3 difficulties in that?
I think there are only 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I think I did the middle one. I didn't do the one where they don't... I play with permadeath or whatever.
Oh, I can't. It's...
Oh, you can't? Okay.
I can't do it. It makes me so sad. It's like one of them dies, and I'm like, no, that's a whole set of support conversations I can't access anymore.
Well, I play permadeath, but I reset it if I...
That's so
if
much
anyone
effort,
dies.
though.
It is, yeah. I mean, you do it if you hate yourself like me, but
okay.
yeah, I enjoy it for whatever reason, but
And then get to do it all again when the new game comes out.
oh man, I'm hoping the new game will have a world map like this one did because I actually really like that a lot. Have you played a lot of the other Fire Emblem games?
No, Fire Emblem Awakening is like the first one. I played Luminous Arc, which is kind of like the same type of deal. Where it's that strategy, like turn-based type of thing. And
That's a DS, right?
Yeah, it was just for the regular DS, but yeah, it was my first Fire Emblem game.
Okay. I played Sacred Stones on Game Boy Advance, and it has kind of a similar world map. But then I've played other ones, and I eventually have to give up because they get really hard. Because you can't level grind.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, isn't with the other Fire Emblem games, they never had like the restart, or like you could keep the characters. It was like if they die, they die. That's it.
Well, you could just. I think Awakening was the first one to have the thing where they don't permanently die.
Yeah, that's what I...
So there's that, but then also, it's not like a world map, so you just go chapter to chapter directly, and there's no, like, in-between stuff. So if you, I guess, level up your soldiers wrong or whatever, then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
But,
Getting into in-depth conversations about Fire Emblem.
I can talk. This whole podcast.
This podcast
about Fire Emblem.
We should do that. Just whenever they have the new game that comes out, we'll just do a full like hour-long podcast.
Just screaming about it.
It should be like a week after the first or the next game comes out. We'll do another one.
Have they announced a release date for that?
I don't think so. They released the trailer for it. But
yeah,
I think that's it.
Well, I need another one.
I need another one now.
I need another one now.
They should have had like released it for Valentine's Day or something.
Yeah.
And then you can spend your Valentine's with 2D waifus like I do every year. Yay.
The thing is, if I play as a guy again, play again, I don't know if I'd be able to not marry Lucina. But I should, to see what other ones are like.
So in the new game, is it going to be a whole new set of characters, or is it...
Oh, yeah, I don't think it's connected to Awakening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
That would be cool, though. Lucina comes back randomly like, oh, this is fate.
They should just put Lucina in every game.
In every game, yeah. Well, she's already in Smash, so they might as well just put her in everything else.
Do you play Smash at all?
No, I don't really like Smash.
I think I saw an ask of yours once.
There's a whole story about this where I went to Anime Expo last year, and after the convention, we went back to one of our friends' houses there.
Yeah.
And it was like me in a room of like 10 guys, and I think there was one other girl who's the girlfriend of one of the guys there, and they just blatantly ignored us for the entire time.
Oh,
and I was pretty miffed because I'm like, oh, this is there. Like, I could walk out right now and nobody would notice.
Yeah,
and then I think I tried playing a game, and I can never find where I am on the screen. Mm-hmm. So I'm usually just button mashing.
Yeah.
And then I die, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I guess.
It can be pretty... I'm sure it's pretty intimidating if, like, everyone else in the room is... Because people have probably played Smash Bros for like years and years and years, and then jumping in new would be pretty rough.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't. What is this percentage number at the bottom mean? Like, what,
Yeah.
I don't understand. Where am I on the screen? Like, oh yeah, it's fun, but it frustrates me.
Well, I guess on that topic, I don't know if you want to go into this, but are there things that are very popular that you just don't like at all or think are overrated?
Yeah, okay, so if we go into the topic of anime, this is a very touchy one for many people, especially since I mentioned this in one of my videos. I don't like Sword Art Online.
Yeah, I saw that.
And people get very intense about this whenever I say I don't like Sword Art Online, because when I was first getting into anime, .hack was the big thing, and I was like, oh, .hack's amazing, even though it was just a lot of standing around and talking, and, like, not much really happened. And then when Sword Art Online came out, I was like, oh, okay, cool, this is, like, the new .hack, I guess. And I liked it at the beginning, and then everyone was just after Kirito. And then...
Is that the main character?
The main character, yeah. And then Asuna, who's the other main character who has the orange hair... She was, like, all strong and passionate at the beginning, and then she ends up with Kirito and just loses, like, all of her strong female traits.
That sucks.
She just becomes waifu mode, and I was like, oh, no. And then everyone's like, oh, could you not like Sword Art Online? Yeah. What about you?
Let's see. For anime, I couldn't really get into Kill la Kill. I know a lot of people like that.
I try, yeah.
Oh, you didn't like it either? I remember you couldn't get into it?
Yeah, I think... How many episodes were there? Is it 20
26, I think, yeah.
I think I got about halfway through and then just kind of lost interest.
I couldn't even get that far.
Yeah, I'm like that with a lot of animes, though. Like, unless... If they're super overhyped, then I go into it with, like, really big expectations, and if I don't think... Or if it's not what I imagined it to be, then I lose interest really quickly.
Right.
Yet I will stay through, like, the whole seasons of those pointless schoolgirl shoujo anime where, like, nothing happens. I'll watch through, like, all of that.
Listen,
just because
slice of life is the best.
It's the best, and it's, like, the smallest interaction that keeps you hanging on to the next episode. Like, oh, will they actually hold hands this time? I don't know. Like, I want to keep watching.
I've found that as I've gotten older, I just go towards slice of life way more now. I have a lot less patience for, like, obnoxious fan service
exactly.
Just dumb things. A lot of stuff in anime now, I'm just like, okay, come on. But
I'm really looking forward to a second season of Gekkan Shoujo.
Oh my god.
I know, it's so good.
I watched that shit in like a day.
I saw your Vine about it. That was actually what I did, because
That's not even really an exaggeration.
Normally I'll wait till the end of a series and then just marathon it all over, like, the period of a day or two.
Yeah.
But with Gekkan Shoujo, I started it early, and then I was like, no, I have to wait till the next week. This is so painful. How do people do this on a regular basis?
Oh, you kept up with it.
Yeah, I did every week. So it was like...
See, I'm like what you just said. I have to, like, wait till it's all done so I can watch, like, five in a sitting. That's how I am.
Are you intense about spoilers though? Because being on Tumblr, that's pretty dangerous. Literally every week, like, my whole dash, like, I know what goes on in Supernatural even though I don't even watch it.
Well, I don't care about spoilers if I don't care about it. Like, Supernatural, I don't even know what that is. It's like two guys.
I don't even watch it, but I know, like, things that happen in it.
Right. That can be kind of funny. Like, I'm just like, I feel like I've watched this fucking show.
Yeah, exactly. There are these shows, like, I haven't really been up to date with Korra, but I know,
I know a whole bunch of Korra.
Because I follow a lot of people that just get very passionate very quickly, and then they just start posting, like, I know what shows they're watching, because it'll literally just be like a stream of gift sets about, like, Korra and Asami and all these things that are going on. Saves the effort, I guess.
If it's something I care about, I use Xkit and just blacklist it.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah.
Oh, you don't use Xkit?
I do, but I don't really blacklist things.
I only do it if it's like people are being obnoxious about something, but
yeah.
But generally, also, I follow people that are pretty considerate.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just be like, hey, can you tag this thing? Or
Tag
like
your
that.
spoilers, God.
I get pretty pissed if I see a spoiler of something I actually care about. If it's something I don't care about, whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Just stay off Tumblr.
It's
Which
usually
is pretty hard.
It's usually only bad if it's something that like aired that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't usually watch new anime that much.
Yeah, that's true. Same here.
Like when they announce like the schedule for the season or something, I don't. I'm just like, I'll just wait and see if any of these are good. And I'll wait till what people say about them.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. But I think right now I'm watching this one show, which is, have you heard of Rose of Versailles?
I have. I'm actually interested in that.
Yeah, so Rose of Versailles was like back in the 70s, so there's been a lot of time for spoilers to come out. But yeah, no, I'm really into that right now, because I figured, like, I was looking through all the lists of the current anime and stuff that's come out, and I was like, nothing's really interesting me. Might as well just go back to, like, the beginning of time and start something super old.
Yeah, there's some good classic anime I should probably watch. I was trying to think. Well, I've kind of watched some newer stuff lately. Usually I watch, like, very obscure, like, nobody's seen it, and I kind of wish they did, but nobody's heard about it. But I watched Haikyuu was good. I think we, like, briefly talked about that on Twitter once. You were reading it?
Yeah, I was reading it.
Yeah.
It's with these, like, big sports animes. I see a lot of people fangirling and fanboying over it, so I'm like, oh, I should probably try this. But my attention span for anime is about 8 minutes, and if nothing can, like, keep me hooked on for 8 minutes, I usually just end up being distracted. So I read it because I can get through it much faster and still kind of stay up with the storylines.
Yeah. I know a lot of people like that. Yeah. Nozaki was really good. Let's see. I can't remember what else I watched.
Nothing really stands out to me anymore. I'm like, Nozaki was like the highlight of my year in terms of
Nozaki was just incredibly good.
I want a second season.
I'm sure they will. I think they're coming out with an OAV or OVA or something.
Well, they better.
Yeah, I think they are, but that I'm sure that will get a second season. I guess on that note, is there anything else you wish or you're dying to get a sequel or another season of or something like that?
So my favorite series is K-On! And I know they did 2 seasons and, like, a movie and a bunch of other stuff, but I think I need more seasons. Like, I need to follow their college life now.
I think the manga does.
The manga does, but it's just the anime was so cute.
Yeah, you gotta... I really like K-On! A lot.
And after K-On! Came out, there was one called Tamako's Market.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
that was cute, but I went into it expecting, like, another K-On! And I didn't get, like, this. You need, like, a group of 4, like, cute girls. And I've tried other moe series, but it'll never be the same. And then Free came out, so I was like, oh, this is the guy equivalent, I guess. But instead of girls playing instruments, you have swimming boys. And I couldn't get into Free at all.
I watched at a friend's the first episode, and I thought... And you know what? Like, it's not even because of the concept. Like, if they came out with a really good boy swimming anime, sure, I'll watch it. But I wasn't that impressed, actually, by the first episode.
Yeah, I tried twice to get into Free, and I just couldn't do it. The only, I think, sports series I could get into was Haikyuu.
Haikyuu is really good.
Yeah, and there was, because I remember when I was first getting into anime, there was this manga called Crimson High, which is like... heard of it. It's like, it was kind of like the girls' equivalent, where there are a bunch of girls that wanted to play volleyball, but there was no girls' volleyball team, so they started training with boys, and, like, obviously it's a little bit different because it's a shoujo anime, and there's all these, like, love interests and whatever, but I really like that series, and then maybe it's just volleyball, or maybe it's the fact that I'm tall, and they constantly, like, talk about their height in the series, and I'm like, yes!
Someone to relate to.
I love it.
Yeah. I guess we kind of covered this question because Shipel said, what's your favorite slice of life anime? And I'm guessing it's K-On!
K-On!, yeah.
Right, K-On! Is really good. And your favorite is Mio, right?
Mio, yes. Well, it's really hard to pick between them. But I cosplayed from K-On! A lot, so Mio is, like, the one I defaulted to. True waifu mode.
Yeah, I like Mio. I think Mugi would be my second favorite.
Mugi is really good too. Yeah, I didn't like Azunyan because I was like, they literally just threw her in there because they needed a lolly with twin tails.
Oh yeah.
I was like, you could go through the whole of K-On! And be fine without Azunyan.
I don't mind her.
Maybe I just got really passionate about it because I'm like, no, they're the 4 friends and they just threw her in there and like, no, she's trying to break them apart. She's like a little version of Mio and there's no need for her. God, I love my moe anime so much.
Now, here's a question. Anonymous asks, would you ever be friends with a fan of yours?
I think that's a really weird question to ask.
I agree, yeah.
Because I don't really look at myself as being someone that has, like, many fans. Like, I'm just... The way that I think of myself is that I just happen to be, like, a really nerdy, anime-loving person who dressed up as, like, comic characters or anime characters and went to conventions. Just happened to make videos. And it's really bizarre to me still when people go like, oh my god, Sachie, I'm like a huge fan of yours. I'm like, why? I sit in my room and I like talk to a camera.
Right.
But a lot of the friends that I've made, a lot of my really close friends have been ones that I've made online just through like YouTube or Twitter or stuff.
Yeah.
2 of my really close friends are ones that actually came to meetups that I had at conventions.
Oh,
and
really?
I just kind of talked to them. I tend to creep a lot of people that like comment on my stuff or send me pictures or whatever or constantly tweet at me. Like I'll go back and look through their pictures and creep them. So yeah, a lot of my friendships have just been made through me creeping on people that have commented on my stuff.
I mean, that works. I think it's a little odd if someone asks if they can be your friend. I guess that's a little weird to me.
Yeah, I get a few people that message me quite often going like, oh my god, like, let's be best friends and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that doesn't seem natural to me.
Right.
Like, you're trying to force something on me here and I don't know anything about you, but you know a ton of stuff about me because I've put it out online and it's a little bit bizarre, but...
I've gotten some of that too, and I don't really know how to answer them because it's not like we can't, but... That's not really how you make a friend. You don't say, can we be friends?
I think that's the thing with a lot of online personalities, though, especially with vloggers and YouTubers and voice actors, where you find parts of them or you watch their content because you can relate to them. And then you feel like they're someone that would be a good friend to you in real life. And you kind of gain an emotional attachment to them. But then you also have to realize that if they're very popular, they also have like 20,000 other people constantly messaging them, and you might feel hurt that someone doesn't reply to you right away. But the fact is, like, a lot of other people feel the same way as you,
right? And
there's just like a lot of people trying to contact you, and then you can't get to everyone. And I wish I could, but there's just no time, man.
Right. There is a little bit of a disconnect too, like you said, because they know a lot about you. But you don't really know them, so it can be a little bit, I guess
weird sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I opened up my PO box for Christmas and I said, oh, everyone like send me cards or whatever, and I'll like reply back to a bunch of people. And the amount of cards that I got that had pictures of Professor Layton and like cats in them and just like little things that I've mentioned.
Yeah.
And it's just really funny to me because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like, I know I make it quite apparent that I'm a cat lady and I like Professor Layton, but when you get like 20 cards that all have like drawings of you and Professor Layton in them, it's really funny where it's like, wow, you guys really pay attention. Good job.
Yeah, they know everything about you.
Yeah.
And then here's another question. Neat Senpai asks, before I ask my question, I just want to say that I think it'd be awesome if Sachie would do a day in the life of video with ProZD narrating the whole thing. Just an idea. God. I'd be down for that.
That would be so funny. Okay,
anyways, my question is for the both of you. There are many kids out there who have dreams of becoming cosplayers and voice actors slash actresses. What are some pieces of advice you can give them? And also, what were your childhood dreams growing up? So...
Do you want to start this one off?
Yeah, okay. For voice acting, I would say just start doing it. This is what people ask me a lot about. How do I become one? How do I do it? It's you just get a microphone. Doesn't have to be a good one, and just do it, and then don't stop doing it. And I think some people can kind of start doing it for the wrong reasons. They might go, well, I want to be popular, or I want to get a following right away. And you're not, well, unless you're very lucky or extremely talented and lucky. I mean, the luck is a big thing.
Yeah.
You're not going to get it. Like you have to do it because you love to do it. And then if you
you have to put hours into it first, because
right.
I'm sure like when you first started doing stuff, you don't gain the audience right away. You look at people that have big followings and you're like, oh, I can do that, but unless you're really lucky, it's gonna take time.
Right. It's all about just not comparing yourself to others is not gonna really help you. I mean, you can. There's nothing wrong with wanting to have followers or a following, but if that's all that you're thinking about and you're going, well, I'm not getting them quick enough. Like you're not gonna go very long, I think.
Yeah, I think there's a saying about it where it's like, don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's like chapter 12.
That's good.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought. And I think another big thing that holds people back is technology. Like, you don't need to start off with the best camera or the best microphone.
Yeah.
Because I think my earliest videos were just filmed on, like, a small point and shoot. And before that, I just, like, did small vlogs on my old laptop webcam.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So once you start getting more into it, then start investing in better equipment. Because if you're starting out, you don't know if that's something you're going to pursue and keep with.
Right.
So yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, and with cosplay, I know a lot of people that want to get into cosplay. They're like, oh, I don't know how to do it. There are tons of tutorials online, and you don't need to have the best sewing skills either. You can just go to like a thrift store and get pieces, or you can even buy costumes online. One of the things that does hold people back is how their parents react. Like if you're just starting out, or you're in high school, or you're quite young, or even if you're older, it can be a weird thing to explain to your parents if they're more conservative.
Not familiar with it?
Yeah, when they're like, what? Like, remember when I first started cosplaying, my parents were like, oh, this is just a weird phase you're going through, because I was also going through a very dark MySpace phase where I was like a little scene kid, and I don't want to look back at that. So I guess my parents were like, oh, this is part of her weird like MySpace phase, and then I just kept doing it. And they were like, okay. And then I think towards the end of high school, they're like, oh, you're getting older. You should stop doing this now. And I was like, no, I like dressing up like characters. But then if you can make something out of it, then that's something to show. Like I was like, oh, I'm doing these videos, or I'm going to these conventions. And then they were like, oh, as long as you're doing something with it.
As long as something's coming out of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's good that you stuck with it.
Yeah, it was weird because I did one video on YouTube that was like a really bad makeup tutorial, because one of my friends was like, oh, how do you make your eyes look so massive when you cosplay? And I was like, oh, I'll do an eye makeup video. And it ended up going viral, so it was getting a ton of followers in this short amount of time, and it kind of made me panic, where I was like, where are all these people coming from? Because when I did YouTube, I didn't go into it thinking like I wanted to become a YouTuber. I was like, well, I like doing videos. I like
just
multimedia.
Put them up there and share them with your friends, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, well, I'll just do videos as a side thing to my blog or whatever. And then it just ended up taking off, and like all these opportunities came forward, and I was like, well, I might as well just roll with it. So if you just stick with it, you'll be surprised with what can happen if you're lucky.
Yeah, and it sounds like kind of like a BS answer to say just do it, but really it is just do it and stick with it. Yeah. What were your childhood dreams?
I think my first like thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to be a vet.
Okay.
And then I went through this period where I like wanted to be, when I started getting into anime, I remember seeing some people that were like the really early famous cosplayers, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to be that. Like, there's this one cosplayer called Pikmin Link, and she did the really early, like, really good cosplays of Link, and she was all over the internet, and I remember seeing pictures of that and going like, whoa, that's so cool, like, someone can actually make something out of it. So I guess for a while in my like teenhood, I was kind of like, oh, I want to become a popular cosplayer. And then now I think if I can do something with YouTube, if I can make something out of it, and maybe even like make it into a job or something, that would be amazing. But it's quite hard to do.
Yeah, the internet can be pretty tough.
What about you? What are your childhood dreams?
As a kid, I wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
And that was even something I was kind of considering in college a little bit, but that ended up not really... I ended up not going that way. Voiceover... I didn't think about it as a kid, because as a kid, I hadn't gone through puberty yet. So I was like, well... But I was... But I was actually... I was really, at a young age, like, really obsessed with, like, knowing, like, who voiced who and, like, that kind of stuff. Like, I knew the names of voice actors. I would read, like, the credits. And that was just something I was really interested in. And then puberty hit. And then I got this, I guess.
You got the golden voice.
And then I just... but even it wasn't. I started doing voice acting for like friends, like what they would like. We would just dick around, or like they would make like projects and stuff. And then from that, I started to develop kind of like a passion for it. And then
do you get it quite often that people tell you that your voice doesn't match like your face or anything? Because I remember seeing a Vine that you made. I think that you're like, oh, a bunch of people say that my voice doesn't match my face or whatever.
Right, yeah. I get a lot of repeated asks about things. Do you have anything like that? Anything where people ask you or send you the same thing?
A lot of people don't realize that I'm tall, and it scares them at conventions.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. A bunch of people seem to think I'm like 5'5", and I'm like, no, I'm like 5'10". I'm pretty close to 6 foot. And then so people come up to me at conventions, expecting that I'm going to be short, and they're kind of like, what is going on here? So yeah, no, that's pretty funny. Although I try to make it a thing now, like I say it quite often. I'm like, hey, when you come up to me at conventions, like please just stop. Like the first thing that comes out of your mouth is, oh my god, Sachie, you're so tall. I'm like, oh, really? I've never heard that before.
Are you sure? Yeah. They say, what do people say? They say your voice doesn't match your face. People say this. They say I sound like Markiplier. I don't think I sound like Markiplier. Do you think I sound like Markiplier?
I know who he is, but I've never watched his videos. I'm
not that familiar. I know of him, but not even just him, but just people. And I listen to them like briefly and go, "That's not." I don't. You
could like impersonate people, like, or you could do videos. Like I think you did one with Critical. Like,
I did do one with Critical.
You can do his voice, and if you can pull off Markiplier, then there's a whole world of things you could, whole world of pranks that you could be pulling.
Yeah. But usually fans are pretty cool. Nothing weird, or does that happen ever?
What, getting weird?
Getting like weird things, or like kind of bad fan stuff. Any bad fan stories?
Have so many creepy stories. Like I could probably have my own subreddit where I just post creepy stories. It's very flattering, but occasionally I get like love confessions from people.
Yeah.
And then so I'll be like, oh, well, that's really sweet of you. And then I get ones where like there's this one guy in Hong Kong that's been sending me a message every day for the past 2 years.
Oh.
And he keeps saying that we're going to get married and we're going to have children, and then he like occasionally sends things to my P.O. box, and he like wants to fly here and ask my mom for permission to marry me. And it's for every day for 2 years though. Like that is dedication.
Is that through YouTube or?
It was through Facebook.
Oh,
and then, I had to up my privacy settings and stuff, but he's very persistent.
Jeez.
So, I have quite a few stories, but I think what people need to realize is that Like I guess some people have this idea that I'm some anime character. Like they see my cosplay photos and they don't realize that I'm a real person. So they don't realize the boundaries that are there.
Yeah.
Just because it's the internet too, but yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't excuse like creepy stuff.
Yeah. Well, I guess being a girl on the internet, you kind of have to like expect these things to some degree, which is a really sad thing to say.
That's too bad.
But,
yeah.
Yeah.
See, I get some of that, and I just whatever. I don't care. I just delete it or whatever. But for girls, it's got to be 1,000 times worse. So.
Yeah, people get quite persistent about getting a response from you.
Well.
A little bit crazy. It just got really dark there, but yeah. Bring it back up. Lighten up the mood a bit.
How about this? What's something, can be a show or a game or whatever, something that not a lot of people, you feel like it's pretty obscure and you wish more people would watch or whatever?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm thinking Anohana right now.
Anohana's really good.
But I think that's quite popular, or a lot of people watched it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty popular, yeah.
I'm trying to think. This is quite hard. I think the Layton games are really good. And I think especially with the earlier ones.
Yeah.
Not that many people have played them, but I definitely think the Layton games are a good one. This is hard. And Rose of Versailles, which I think is another really good one. It's an old anime, and obviously the animation's not as fancy as what you would find in, like, Kill la Kill or something. But if you're into, like, Sailor Moon or, is it Utena or something?
Yeah, Utena, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to that.
The main character looks awesome.
Oscar?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole art style where they look really, like, sparkly and super pretty, the big dresses, I love it.
Yeah.
The voice acting's really good in it as well, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I don't know, I hear their voice acting and I'm like, wow, they sound really passionate about everything. I love it.
Are you into, like, seiyuu at all? Like, knowing who the different Japanese voice actors are? Or just or English voice actors, I guess.
I used to be really into Japanese voice actors and actresses, because a lot of them were in, like, idol groups as well.
Yeah,
but I think the only one that I can remember off the top of my head now, because it's been a while, is the one that voices Mio. What's her name? Like, Hikasa
Oh, it's Yoko Hikasa, I think?
Yeah. And it's funny, like, hearing her in different roles as well.
She plays like a not middle aged, but like an older woman in Tamako's Market.
Yeah, it's really funny to hear. And have you watched Toradora?
I have. Is she in that?
No, she's not in that. But the voice actress for Ami does a bunch of other stuff as well.
Oh,
I think she was in High School of the Dead. She played that girl with the pigtails.
I forgot her name, but
yeah, no, she's in a bunch of stuff as well, and it's just weird where I'm like, hey, I recognize that voice kind of. Oh, it's Ami from Toradora. Weird.
Yeah. See, I'm actually really into that kind of stuff.
I can imagine, yeah.
Well, I've always been, but yeah.
Who are some of your favorites?
Let's see. In recent stuff, you know who's always good is Mamoru Miyano. You know him?
No.
He's Light from Death Note, Tamaki from Oran.
Okay, yeah, I know
that
this
guy.
voice. Yeah.
He's actually for some reason I wasn't that into him, but I've seen him in a whole bunch of stuff now, and he's actually very good.
It amazes me because oh my god, I can't remember her name off the Is it Tara Strong? Who does the
Tara
voice
Strong.
of like every character that was part of my childhood. I'm like, she was Timmy Turner. Oh, she's also like Bubbles. Oh, she's also this person. It's crazy.
That's the dream.
That's the dream.
Getting to that.
All you need to do is master women's voices, and then you can literally be an entire show.
Yep, just do all women's voices, all kids' voices.
Yeah. Can you do a kid's voice?
No. Not even.
Put you on the spot, yeah.
Not even like a little bit.
Oh, okay. A manly child, a very
manly.
Yeah,
hello. Yeah. Right.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. I'm gonna going back to stuff that is obscure, there's one show that it's like my passion. It's like my favorite anime of all time. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Have you ever heard of Chihaya Furu?
Is that the one about what's the game that they play?
Karuta.
I think I read some of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like there's a girl and she
She
wanted to get into something else, but she couldn't, so she started playing this game or something. It's been a while since I
don't know if she wanted to get into anything else, but maybe it's a different Karuta show, or maybe it could be the same. But
it's probably me just not getting it right, because the last time I looked at this was forever ago.
Yeah. The anime of that, it's the best.
Is it a shoujo series?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna have to watch it then. Anything that's shoujo, I must watch. Wasn't there a second season that just came out?
Yeah, well, not just came out, but there's 2 seasons.
Season, yeah.
That's a show where I'm like, I would kill a man to get a 3rd season of that show.
Oh, okay.
Because I love that show.
That's so good.
Yeah, but that's really good. Are you into like movies at all? Like you...
I am the worst person with movies. Like, oh god, if it's in theaters, like if it's fairly recent and I have a bunch of friends that will drag me out to see something, then I will.
Yeah.
But I don't really watch movies on my own time because I'd rather watch anime or Friends, like the marathon that I've been doing for the past
it's on Netflix
2
now.
weeks because it's on Netflix and it's consuming my life. Yeah, I know I'm the worst person with movies. Like I haven't seen a lot of really mainstream things.
They are long, so it is like they are a time commitment.
Yeah, like I haven't watched any of the Lord of the Ring movies.
Oh,
which is,
yeah.
Like when I start listing the movies that I haven't seen, people will cringe. I like haven't fully watched Inception because I got bored halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched any of the Captain America series or Iron Man. Like
I'm
the
movies.
worst geek ever.
Movies are one thing.
It's terrible.
But so you're mainly into like anime and games then? Is there anything else? I mean, and cosplay obviously, but is there anything else you're into? Or would it be kind of those primarily?
I think it's those primarily, and then it's just like and then I'm really into YouTube. So I remember, I think it was like 2 years ago. This is so embarrassing. Geek and Sundry had a VIP party at San Diego Comic-Con. So I was there, and there were all these people from like TV shows and movies walking around. And I only recognized like the YouTubers that walked in.
Oh, yeah.
Like Nathan Fillion was standing behind me, and I thought he was just a random
God.
guy. Like people, my friend wanted to punch me after I told her, like, okay, I know who Joss Whedon is, but when someone was like, yo, Joss Whedon's like in here, I was like, oh, is that Will Wheaton's brother or something? Like, it was the worst thing. But then when all these like really popular YouTubers walked in, I got really nervous, even though there were like celebrities walking around me.
Yeah.
I talked to I can't remember his name. He's one of the guys on, there's a show called Whitest Kids You Know or something.
Oh,
and
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it's like the main
I don't know
guy.
any of their names either.
And I talked to him, and I didn't know it was him because I'd like never heard of the show before. Like I was having conversations with people, and I didn't know they were like famous. Oh god.
Just talking to Tom Hanks. Oh, what a nice guy.
I talked to Grant Imahara from, was it Mythbusters or something?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know who he was. Yeah, and then one of the bloggers, Katie, came up to me and was like, oh my god, did you know you were just talking to blah blah blah? I'm like, oh, that was him? Wow,
guy.
weird. Yeah. So I have some friends that would like kill for that opportunity, but I'm just not caught up in pop culture to realize. Are you into any movies at the moment?
At the moment,
Have you watched Big Hero 6?
I did. That was really good.
It was really cute. I hope they come out with a second. They probably will, honestly. If it's Disney, they're probably going to milk Big Hero 6 for a while.
You know, I'd be okay with it probably because I feel like that lends itself well to like a sequel.
Yeah,
they just made the team, so I think a sequel will be even better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't usually think that.
I think they're doing Frozen 2. They're doing a second Frozen, which is, I guess, pretty obvious considering how crazy.
Does that need a sequel though?
I don't know what they would do in a sequel. But I guess Disney would probably do it just because everyone loves Frozen so much.
Did you like Frozen?
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, that's basically how I felt about it. I like the songs.
The songs were good, but I think everything story-wise... I know it's a movie and you can only fit so much into, like, an hour, 30 minutes, but it was all right.
I thought the story was kind of a mess, yeah.
But the songs were
were good.
Catchy
I like this.
As heck.
Yeah. So if you like games, then what are some other games that you like?
Okay, I'm pretty casual when it comes to games because when I was a kid, my mom never let me have any consoles, and we never had a computer that was good enough to like run PC games. So I only really, or I think was it 9th grade or 8th grade, I got a Nintendo DS Lite.
Oh, okay.
And then I started playing Animal Crossing, and I got into Harvest Moon as well. So it was like really casual, girly games that I got into.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, they were really fun. I like them. And then when I got my laptop, when I started university, I got really into Team Fortress. So I played hours of that. And it took me a while to get a little, like, desensitized to it, because I still, like, cringed whenever anyone got blown up or there was blood everywhere. I was like, going straight from Animal Crossing, which is like, oh, here, you're a mayor in a town full of animals, to, like, you need to destroy these people and blow them up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I got into that, and then Left 4 Dead. And Left 4 Dead was pretty good. And
that's also a big jump from Animal Crossing.
I know, I just went the complete 180. But it's games that I could play with my friends that I got really into because I like casual games on my own time. Things that aren't time-based or like fighting games, just relaxing games I like playing. But, and then over this past year, my friends dragged me into League of Legends. Which I'm still confused about because there's such a huge learning curve for that game.
I haven't played it.
Yeah, because you need to know like which champions go in which lane and like what items to give them, because there's certain items that
there's like optimal
setups. Optimal setups. So and I'm just not bothered to learn about them. So it's mainly just casual games that I'm into.
Well, Animal Crossing is great. Did you play a lot of New Leaf?
Yeah, when I think everyone does that thing where the Animal Crossing game first comes out and you play it nonstop for the first month and then you don't touch it for like 3 years and then you come back to it.
Yeah.
That's what happened with me in my first Animal Crossing game, which was Wild World for DS.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I'm going back to New Leaf more often than I thought I would, because whenever I get an Animal Crossing game, I kind of expect that I'm gonna have these like month-long gaps in between. But Isabelle just makes me feel really guilty.
Isabelle's such a great character.
She's so cute, and I'm like, no, I can't leave my town for too long because she'll be so busy.
See, with me and New Leaf, I'm still playing it.
Oh, constantly? Like you?
I play it like maybe like 15 minutes a day now at this point. I used to play it a lot more.
Oh, okay.
But I actually have not stopped playing it.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, since like 2013.
Yeah, that's really good, actually. That's really good.
I'm trying to get all the do you know what the badges in that game? You get from Phineas? Yeah. I'm trying to get all the gold badges in that game.
Ooh, fancy.
Because I'm a crazy person. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh no, it's gonna be like my attention span is usually like I play it intensely for like 2 weeks and then I stop for like a month and then I go back occasionally to just de-weed everything. So I think I can't remember what they're called, where you can set for your townspeople to have like different
public works projects.
Not the other one. It starts with an O. I can't remember. I can't remember what it's called, but you can set, like, if you want your town to be more money.
Ordinances.
Yeah, ordinances. Yeah. So I think I have, like, the beauty ordinance, so they de-weed everything for me now.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Which makes everything so much easier.
Going back to YouTube, because I'm not. I mean, I like some YouTube channels, but I'm not like that big into. I mean, I don't know that much about YouTube, big YouTubers. So, what are some big YouTubers that you really like?
So when I first started getting into YouTube, there was like this group of YouTubers that all lived in Los Angeles. There was this guy called Joey Graceffa, and then there's this other girl called Ingrid, or Miss Glamorazzi, and I can't remember how. I think the way that I started getting into YouTube was that I didn't want to study for exams.
Yeah.
And I was kind of going through this period where I was living away from home and I didn't have any friends, and I just became a hermit pretty much. And then I started feeling really depressed. I didn't want to leave, so I started watching YouTubers. And they were kind of what got me into doing YouTube videos. Like, they looked like they had a lot of fun doing it, filming their videos and doing tags and challenges.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really fun, and I was like, oh, well, I can do stuff like that, I guess. But yeah, no, it's a group. Yeah, and then I did. And then, so there's a group of them in Los Angeles, and then I started following a bunch in the UK.
Okay.
Because LA has its own little YouTube community, and then, like, London does as well. So I started following both of them, and I wish Toronto had a bigger YouTube community, because there's not really too many of us.
Yeah.
And the ones that are here are either, like, around my range, about 50,000 subscribers, and then there are ones that have, like, 2 million or, like, 500,000, so it's really hard to contact them to do anything.
Right.
But yeah, no, YouTube is great. I spend too much time on this website. Are you into any YouTubers?
Off the top of my head, I can't really think of. I mean, probably like a bunch of just like geek related ones. Like, I follow Critical.
Yeah, of course.
I subscribe to I don't know if you know him, Video Game Donkey. Have you ever heard of him?
Because he does League of Legends videos with Sky Williams.
I love him.
He's really funny.
I'd have to look at my YouTube.
So a lot of like gaming YouTubers then, right?
Yeah, but not even specific. My favorite ones are, do you know Britannic? Do you know who they are?
No, I don't.
Okay, they're a comedy duo, and they're like the best for me. They're like my favorites.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But otherwise, I don't really know that much about individual, like, big YouTube people, but I'll just watch what people link to me and stuff like that.
Yeah. There's a lot of drama in the YouTube community, so...
Oh, really?
It's weird getting, like, pulled into that type of stuff.
What kind of stuff usually happens?
Sometimes it's just friend groups. Like, oh, this person talked to this person, but they won't talk to this person. Oh, no, something's going on here.
Yeah.
And I guess, yeah, it's just, like, conflicting fan bases, or... It's strange, and, like, having to take sides.
Yeah.
I, like, try to keep out of that, because I'm like, there's no reason for there to be any drama for me, because I literally just talk about dressing up in costumes and occasionally, like, makeup, but there's drama everywhere these days, so whatever.
Yeah. I guess kind of to wrap it up, do you have any sort of goals? Like, what are you hoping to maybe in the next, I don't know, year or a couple of years? What are you hoping to maybe achieve? Is there anything?
Well, in terms of, like, my YouTube stuff, I want to start uploading more cosplay-related stuff. I did a lot of cosplay stuff for Geek and Sundry, but we're bringing that back over to my own channel. So it's just, I really like making cosplay, and I'm sure, like, a lot of people like watching the whole progress of putting things together.
Yeah.
It's just that it takes a really long time to film, because you have to make things and also record it and then edit it and put everything all together. But yeah, no, I'd love to go to more conventions in general.
Which conventions do you usually go to?
The ones around Toronto. So there's Anime North and Fan Expo, which are the main ones. And then up to Montreal, they have this one called Otakuthon, which is apparently really nice. There's one that I'm going to in February called KatsuCon, which is...
That's in DC, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't even know where it is. I'm like, oh, it's somewhere down in Maryland.
Yeah.
And then over the summer, I typically go to Anime Expo, which
That's in California?
California, yeah.
That's the big one, right?
That's the big one. If you go to any convention in North America, I would definitely say go to Anime Expo. Because I'm pretty sure the first time I went into the dealer's room, I just started hyperventilating because it was so big.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Which conventions have you been to? Because I know you went to Youmacon.
I went to Youmacon. There's one by here called Shudokan, and that's in Lansing. I used to go every year to Otakon, but
that's Maryland, right?
Yeah, I love Otakon. Yeah. I didn't make it last year. I'm hoping I can get there this year, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I also just love Baltimore.
Yeah, I went to Otakon in 2012, I think. So that was really fun, but I just haven't been able to go back since because of work or travel. Right.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty expensive, to travel and stuff.
I wish I could just fly places, but because it's international for me, even though it's not that far, it costs like a few $100s more to fly out of Toronto. So if I want to go anywhere, I always have to fly out of Buffalo.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Crazy. Why are flights so expensive?
It really kind of sucks. I think they said they were maybe thinking about in the future developing some kind of high-speed rail thing. Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't.
That's like a thing that maybe in the future will be developed, but hopefully in our lifetime, but we'll see.
Within, Canada to the States, or...?
I know it's through the States, maybe parts of Canada too, but I think it's just very, like, theoretical.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, right.
I mean, like, Japan has bullet trains.
Yeah, that's what they were kind of basing it off of, yeah.
Yeah, everyone has, like, a better transportation system than us. But it's like Canada's so big, and there aren't that many people in the middle of Canada. It's mostly just, like, Vancouver, and then there's Toronto, and then there's Montreal. So far.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're at about an hour. So thank you for taking the time to talk.
Thanks for having me. I like our beginning part where we just talked for like 15 minutes
about Fire Emblem.
Okay, so we have to do another podcast about just Fire Emblem.
Listen, if you want to do another one, just let me know.
When the new game comes out, we'll give ourselves a week to play through it and then have an in-depth discussion about it.
All the OTPs and everything.
All the OTPs. It'll be great.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot.
Yay, thank you.